The South Today bulletin, proudly brought to you in association with MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Tonight on the South Today, a bomb threat at Queenstown Airport causes widespread panic, sparking flight cancellations and evacuations. Vicious details involving animal harm at some Dunedin flat initiations horrifies students and parents. And newly planned marine reserves look set to protect Otago sea life, but not everyone is on board. Kia ora, good evening. I'm Hannah Wilkins. Widespread panic ran through Queenstown Airport this morning after a bomb threat was made. Havoc ensued after the threat, causing mass evacuations and flight cancellations until disposal experts could determine what the mystery package contained.
Travellers going through the Queenstown Airport had a scare this morning after a bomb threat sparked an evacuation. Hundreds of passengers had their travel plans interrupted as explosive experts worked to defuse the situation.
Not too bad, no, just need to be back at work on Monday, so there's been a small update and then the flight's just now been changed to 3:30 from 2:30, but obviously you can't get into the airport.
This isn't how eager Globetrotters expected their travel experience to go. Passengers were ushered off a grounded plane and people evacuated from Queenstown Airport before 9 on Friday morning, as emergency services responded to a bomb threat. 15 Air New Zealand flights were cancelled, with one turning around mid-flight to return to Christchurch. The New Zealand Defence Force Ordnance Disposal Unit arrived at the international airport just after 2 p.m, attending to what appeared to be an explosive device, later deemed to not be a threat. Around 200 passengers were taken to the Queenstown Event Centre to wait out the disruption, and provided with food, water and activities. The airport reopened at around 3 this afternoon, as an international flight from Sydney touched down as the terminal doors opened. In Queenstown, the South Today.
Queenstown's long-running gastrobug saga is turning into a code brown, with the likely source of the water contamination now being identified. Te Whatu Ora's investigations into the resort town's cryptosporidium outbreak has concluded, stating it possibly started through human faecal contamination of Lake Whakatipu's water supply. Medical officers believe the contaminated water collected in the 2-mile water treatment pipes, distributing out to homes and businesses over a number of days. The exact source is unlikely to ever be known for the crypto outbreak that's infected more than 60 people. The Queenstown Lakes District Council is continuing with some water notices as they look into barriers for the 2-mile water treatment plant. Police investigations are looking into a group of Otago University students after details of sick and twisted flat initiations come to light.
A group of first-year students were forced to bite off the legs of live ducks as part of a vicious alcohol-fuelled initiation into their flat for next year. One of the students involved says he blacked out by 1 in the afternoon from the copious amount of alcohol he was forced to drink before passing out, waking up hours later with a shaved head in the Botanic Gardens. The well-known traditions are thought of as a rite of passage in Dunedin, where second years haze the incoming group who would be moving into their flats the following year. Otago University has been trying to crack down on initiations, with the proctor visiting flats identified as likely hosts and giving them advice. But the warnings seem to have been ignored by the students, with stories already leaking of disgusting alcohol and vomit-related punishments this year. And ducks aren't the only animals being targeted for the heartless acts. A video emerged of 4 students holding a live eel above their heads as a trophy during an initiation earlier this week. The university says they have undertaken proactive prevention and education work to curb these incidents and have informed police who are looking into the vile acts. In Dunedin, the South Today.
The Dunedin railway station is now restored to its former glory as it prepares to renew its reputation as the country's most photographed building. Scaffolding is entirely gone on the popular tourist attraction now, following a more than $6 million restoration project starting back in 2020. The railway station is a protected heritage building, making it the perfect stop-off for the Ōtepoti Dunedin Heritage Festival. The annual month-long event started in early October, with more than 90 festivities planned across the month to celebrate the city's rich history. The Dunedin railway station will play host to an open afternoon and heritage presentation this Sunday, commemorating the more than 100-year-old building and its Category 1 history. Plans for 6 new marine reserves off the Otago coast is being hailed by some, but slammed by others. Environmental advocates say the national parks of the sea will become a huge asset to Dunedin. However, it has left some parts of the fishing industry furious.
It's a big day for marine conservation in New Zealand. After a decade of planning, Conservation Minister Willow Jean Prime has announced the creation of 6 new maritime reserves off the southeast coast of the South Island. They're the first marine reserves created in the country in almost 10 years, stretching from the Waitaki River all the way down to Watson's Beach near Milton. Fisheries Minister Rachel Brooking spoke at the announcement on Thursday, saying the new reserves are just the first step in creating a network of marine protection in the area.
We have to have a very strong marine environment to enable our mokopuna to also have fish in the sea.
Southeast Marine Protection Forum Chair Marie Baker-Galloway says getting the 6 national parks of the sea over the line was a challenging but rewarding moment for her and the team.
There were thousands of hours and thousands of kilometres driving up and down the coast, meeting with people.
But the announcement wasn't music to everyone's ears, as many people within the fishing industry believe the Otago marine area isn't at risk or under pressure.
There are still plenty of places to fish, but this is important because of what is under the water and how significant it is for marine biodiversity.
Many from the fishing industry argue the announcement of the 6 new maritime reserves will affect their export value, expressing the plan was anything but collaborative. In Dunedin, the South Today.
Whai Yakane, still to come on the South Today. The future of one of Christchurch's most iconic theatres still seems to be in the dark, and Gore locals cheekily clap back at Auckland's mayor after his comments about the rural town.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
This is the real deal. Everything's reduced. Must go sale on now. There's 30% off lounge, dining and occasional furniture. John's taken 40% off beds and bedroom. And over 1,000 items are at half price. Plus pad off over 18 months interest free. Must go sale on now. Strictly limited time, only at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street.
Where did you get that furniture from? Stafford Street. And my mate John.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Here at At Aged Concern Otago, we offer a range of services to support Otago seniors to age well with dignity and independence. We provide social work support, visiting service, health promotion and social activities. Check out what we have on offer at ageconcernOtago.com.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. The future of one of Christchurch's most iconic theatres is still in the dark, but there is hope as work gets underway to remove some of its unsightly features.
Cantabrians are getting ready to say goodbye to these eyesore shipping containers. After propping up the facade of the former Odeon Theatre for nearly a decade, a decision has been made to remove them in February next year. Badly damaged in the 2011 earthquakes, Environment Canterbury purchased the Category 1 Heritage Building in 2020 on an as-is, where-is basis. The auditorium and rear section of the Odeon Theatre was demolished back in 2015 due to some safety concerns. Once the council-owned containers have been removed, work to temporarily prop up the facade will begin. Opened in 1883, the 19th century Italianate-style building is the oldest masonry theatre in New Zealand. ECAN says there is no decision on the full redevelopment of the heritage building yet. They believe any new development would need to incorporate the current building as an integral part of a wider development of the surrounding area. In Christchurch, the South today.
Most New Zealanders would have no problem pointing out Gore on a map, but a North Island mayor may need a little help. The Gore District Council has cheekily clapped back against Auckland Mayor Wayne Brown with a video following his comments about the rural town on national television.
Gore Mayor Ben Bell showing his comedic side as he takes viewers on a tour of what he deems as his rural city. The Gore District Council released this video on Thursday, hitting back against Auckland Mayor Wayne Brown's slander of the Southland town. Brown appeared ignorant of Gore's location in an AM show interview earlier this week, before suggesting it was so quiet you could probably park a logging truck down the main street.
Camera mate, I don't think you can park here. Well, it's obviously too busy down here. Oh yeah, true. Oh well, Wayne Brown says okay.
But Bell chose to take Brown's remarks on as a challenge, enlisting a local truck driver to drive him around the top spots of the nation's country music capital. The banter was flowing as the pair planned a Gore tour for the Auckland mayor, but Bell couldn't resist chucking in a few digs himself.
We've got a few of them this big year, haven't we? Especially after Wayne got elected. Yeah.
The satire clip received positive feedback on social media, with the video ending with "Don't be like Wayne Brown, come to Gore." Wayne Brown has yet to comment on the video. In Gore, the South today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South today. Queenstown Airport reopened this afternoon after a bomb threat caused flight cancellations and evacuations. Some Dunedin student flat initiations have involved abusing ducks and eels. Police are now looking into the claims. And 6 new marine reserves plan to protect sea life off of the Otago coast, but some in the fishing industry aren't convinced. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome Associate Editor Mike Houlihan. Hello Mike.
Good evening, Hannah.
What can we expect in the big weekend paper?
Well, we've got extensive coverage of the bomb scare that you just alluded to at Queenstown Airport.
Okay.
We had a chat with the Chief Executive of the hospital, of the airport rather, a couple of hours ago, and discovered what the latest there is.
Right.
Speaking of Queenstown, we've also hopefully got to the bottom of the water contamination scare there. It appears it was a human fecal infection, so there's a great deal of further investigation to go on there.
Right.
We've also got a heartwarming story about a young Gore girl. Stick as Gore was in your headlines.
Yes.
It's another day for Gore. She's a figure skating champion, and she broke her back and was feared she'd never be able to skate again, but she's back and competing this weekend.
Wow, okay.
Being the weekend, there's also the Weekend Mix, which has got a extensive feature with a man who used to sit in this chair, Barry Stewart, our former editor.
Yes.
And of course, there's comprehensive sports coverage, including a wrap of this morning's All Blacks game.
Okay, stunning. Oh, we look forward to it. Sounds like a great paper. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Time now for a look at your weather.
The South Today weather, Proudly brought to you by MoleMap, the skin cancer detection specialists.
Looking at the situation, southwesterly airflow will blow over the region this weekend with some cloud and showers at times on the south coast, but there's mostly fine weather everywhere else. Heading to the top of the South Island. Cloudy with southwesterlies and 18 up in Nelson. Showery with 16 in Greymouth tomorrow. And Christchurch is a bit wet and windy too, with 14 as the high. Travelling to South Canterbury and North Otago. Southwesterlies with 14-degree highs as we come down through here. That's for Ashburton, Timaru and Oamaru, with some showers in the north. Heading westwards to the Central Lakes. Fine with light winds make for a great start to the weekend through here. Queenstown's high will be 14, with a 15-degree day on the way for Wanaka and 16 in Alexandra. Heading further south, a calmer day through here than most others this week. Just light southwesterlies with highs of 14 degrees in Gore, Balclutha and the Catlins. Across to Invercargill, fine and down to 7 tonight. Tomorrow looks sunny with 13 degrees and cool winds. Then Sunday starts off a bit showery before a windy but sunny afternoon with 12 degrees. And finally, heading to Dunedin. It'll be cloudy tonight as it drops to 8. And the weekend is shaping up to be quite a cool one thanks to the southwesterly, which may also bring occasional showers and highs of 14 degrees. And that's the news this Friday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. You can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand, and you can also follow us on Facebook. Just search for The South Today NZ to see our favourite stories from around the regions. We'll see you again next week. Mā te wā.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.